Hi everyone, welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm happy to be back. Thank you again to A1R Psychic Radio Network. I'm happy to be here. Ready to take a caller this evening and go over some of the things that we talked about last week. So just a quick recap. Each month we're doing a theme. January's theme is the new beginnings. And last week I talked about resolutions and coming up with different ways of maybe sticking to a plan because resolutions are so difficult. So I suggested that everybody create a list of what they would like to accomplish for the year. And for those of us that struggle with figuring out what we actually want, sometimes it's easier to connect with the energy of what we don't want. We understand that a little easier than we do, having faith in what we do want. So if you have your list, today what I want us to do is change all of your don't wants into positives. So for example, if you wrote down something to the effect of, I don't want to be in an unhappy relationship, we're going to switch that into a more positive perspective and change it to something like, I don't want to struggle financially. I want to be in a happy relationship. If, for example, you used, I don't want to struggle financially anymore, then a good twist for that would be, I want to be abundant, I want to be rich, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be successful. So all of your don't wants for next week, work on flipping those into what you do want. And the reason why it's so important for us to figure out what we actually want and where we're putting our energy is because we create. So the way that we create our realities and the way that we actually manifest is, one, what we believe and what we think. Then the fuel that generates the thought and the belief within what we believe and think is the feeling. So you have the thought, then you have the emotion. So if you're thinking negative thoughts and then you're feeling really crappy, and then your actions are doing things that are in line with your negative thoughts and your negative feelings, then you're going to create negativity in your life. So it's very important for you to focus on what you do want and put your energy into what you want, and then put the feeling. So if you want to be abundant and you want to be financially successful, believe that you're capable of being abundant, know that you're capable of being abundant, feel abundant on some level, which I know that can be difficult at times, especially when we're down in the dumps. So put all your energy into what you want, feel it, believe it, and then if you take the smallest action step, no matter how little it is, any kind of step in the right direction towards what you actually want, now you're in perfect alignment. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings and your actions are all in the same energetic space. So now you're like a magnet and you're going to magnetize those things to you. Now, if you're focusing on all of the negative stuff, you're worrying, you're freaking out about money, you're always worrying about whether or not you're going to have enough next week, you're worrying about how you're going to put food on the table, well, now you're stuck in a thought pattern of a lack of abundance. So everything that you do and everything that you feel is just calling in the energy of lack. So maybe when you do end up having some money, all of a sudden you have to, get a new tire or something happens. So that's the importance of really focusing on what we want. And another reason why this year in particular is so important on the manifestation level is it's the beginning of a new 9-year cycle. So in life, everything is very cyclical and, numerology, there's astrological events that are happening, but humanity as a whole is going through a new 9-year period. So with the month of January, what you're putting your energy and your focus into is going to create your reality for the next year. So if you're in a space of negativity and you're bringing in all the crap from last year into this year, well, then this year is going to be just as crappy as last year. So it's really going to take some change in your thought processes and focusing on the things that you actually want. So the month of January, focus on what you want, put the energy there, because that's going to basically shape the next year of your life. Now, the entire year of 2017, everything that you're doing and feeling and all the action steps that you're taking throughout the year are going to shape the next 9 years of your life. So if you want the next 9 years to be successful and abundant, then that's where you need to put your energy instead of focusing on all the things that could potentially go wrong. So, in order to set the tone for the next 9 years, focus on the positive, figure out what you want, dream big, don't worry about life. Like, you have no control over anything. So just be in the moment, sort it all out. It's life. We're going to have challenges. It's how you deal with those challenges, and it's how you view them. So when doors shut in one area, that doesn't mean you failed or you did a bad job. That's the universe redirecting you into a new direction. It's telling you where to go. Hey, try this angle. This is where you need to be. This is what you need to be going. It's not a failure. Same thing with relationships. Focus on the things that you want out of a relationship. Figure out what you want, who you are. We're so afraid to be selfish. It's okay to figure out who you are, what you want, where do you want to be, what does my career look like, what do I want to do for the next 9 years of my life? Do I want to be stuck in the same old situation that I have been in the last few years? So sit back and, take your don't wants, change them into a more positive perspective. Bring your list back next week because we'll do some more work with the wants, and having changed your don't wants into a more positive area, we'll go on to the next steps of manifestation and how we're going to create our realities. As always, I'm taking a caller this evening because I like to exercise my intuitive muscles and try to sort things out. I connected with our caller's energy beforehand about a couple of hours ago, and I made some notes. And today we have Katie in Pennsylvania with us. So welcome to the show, Katie. Thank you so much for calling in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, thank you. So I'll go over the few notes that I made for you and kind of what I feel like is going on, and these are just impressions and feelings that I picked up on, and I'm sure that you actually have specific questions for me, so I welcome those. Feel free to interrupt me at any point. Sometimes I get into the energy and the information comes through very quickly, so I end up chattering, trying to get the information out to you so I don't miss anything. But if you have questions or you want to say anything, please don't hesitate to interrupt me. So the overall feeling, Katie, that I had for you is I feel all new beginnings. I feel like there's a new energy with you. You're in a phase of wanting to, I feel maybe your energy is more focused on your career and possibilities of movement going forward, like future type things. I do feel like maybe you're in more of a space of, you're feeling more positive. You're looking forward to what the future could potentially hold. I do feel like maybe there's a younger female, or maybe not necessarily like a young woman, but a woman that may be younger than you, that you're going to end up having to help make some sort of decision or something important. There's some confusion and indecision surrounding that. It could even be you, where you're feeling indecisive and confused about some sort of choice that needs to be made. Again, I feel like there's a lot of energy with work, so I'm not sure if you're actually happy at your job or you've left your job. I mean, I feel like things overall are going well, but there's a part of you that is ready for more, and I feel like you need to make a decision, and maybe there's some untapped potential within yourself, like a new talent that you're not really aware of. And I don't know, I feel like maybe you need to consider starting your own sort of business or thinking outside of the box. I also feel like you're really getting into this spiritual side of yourself, and your intuition is really strong, and I feel like you need to allow yourself to listen to your own intuition and trust your own intuition, and maybe work on building that muscle for yourself. Now, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here really quick. Yeah, so I feel like, okay, again, like there's a new job. I feel like there's things on the horizon. Like there's possibilities that are coming your way in the job arena. Now with health, I feel like you're overall, you're healthy. I feel like there's people in your life that would be willing to be your workout buddy, and maybe there's some changes that you want to make in the health department. I do feel like there's some repressed emotions. I feel like maybe you have a hard time connecting with what you're feeling sometimes. That maybe it's more along the lines of some repressed sadness, maybe a little bit of anger. I do feel like you push yourself really hard, and there's moments where I feel like you need to relax and take a break and rest because you're just pushing yourself so hard. Financially, I feel like things are headed for an upswing as well. And again, there's something where I feel like you have a talent that you haven't really maybe fully discovered or know what that kind of looks like, where you could potentially start up your own business and dream big about that. Honor and listen to your intuition. There's some sort of creativity that will enrich your spiritual experiences as well. I do feel like you're feeling ambitious and goal-oriented. Also, there was a feeling of there possibly being a male mentor in your life, or if he's not there yet, he may show up on the lighter hair. Like his hair seems on the lighter color. And it feels like someone that you could count on, although he may not have the best people skills. So it's someone that you can trust, but learn what are the positive things that are happening that you're learning from him, and then learn what not to do. So there's certain things, like he could be a little more again, his people skills aren't quite as good as we would like. So then also, again, there's a big thing about allowing yourself to feel, because I feel like there's times where you're just kind of numb and you don't really know what's going on the inside with you. And I also feel maybe you are pushing yourself on the spiritual side of things, and you're really interested in, metaphysical things, and you want to read and you want to absorb all this information. Allow yourself time to actually process what you're learning. And again, don't over push yourself. Don't overdo it. Allow yourself some time. I do feel too like you're feeling more free. Maybe over the last few years you felt really kind of bogged down and stuck, and now there's this energy of like free, and you feel like you have this freedom and this potential for freedom, but you're not quite sure what it looks like. So it's yes, I want to be free, but how the hell do I achieve that? Where am I going? What am I doing? And so you're in this place of kind of sorting out different things. And I also feel like maybe you're shaking up your routine a little bit, and if you're not, you will be. So I feel like you need to be experiencing different things outside of your normal routine. Put some energy into the blessings in your life, because I do feel like you have blessings, and I do feel like there's a lot of good things in your life that you should focus on, because that will generate more of the abundance and the appreciation that when you're putting that out there, that's going to come back at you tenfold. let's see. Again, there's something about a new job. I don't know that. I just feel like work is the main thing right now. If you are working, I feel like things are stable. They're moving forward. There's like, you're in a momentum building phase of change and new opportunities, and yeah, there's some good things going on. And if you are currently employed and you're not actually, like, you haven't already quit and you're not looking for a job, then don't take your current employment for granted, because I kind of feel like that is really going to help fund whatever it is that you want to do next. Like, it's paying the bills, and it's helping out. Money feels like it's going to be on the upswing. Things feel better. They feel like abundance is coming towards you. So stay positive about that. Now, when it comes to love, I'm thinking here, okay, so it kind of feels like if you're not in a fully committed relationship, maybe you're dating someone new, or you're looking to be dating someone, but for whatever reason, I have this feeling like you're still getting to know each other, and not to push or rush things, that be okay with taking your time and getting to know this person that you're interested in. And if you're actually not talking to that person yet, but I feel like maybe there's some gossip too, like maybe people in your life are saying, oh, don't talk to Bill, he's, this jerk or whatever. So if you're having people that are gossiping and giving you warnings about somebody that you're potentially interested in or involved in, you can't always believe what you hear, so make up your own decision about this individual if something like that is going on. And this is something that could have happened in the past as well. Let's see. When it comes to love, too, so it's weird. It's kind of like there's also this feeling of maybe taking each other for granted, or one or the other is taking the person more for granted. So I feel like there's some things that need to be talked about and expressed. Otherwise, there's a potential for the relationship to completely fall apart. And if you're looking for love, you need to work on your self-esteem. You got to work on developing, like, feeling good about yourself and just feeling good, loving you, feeling confident, where you're not seeking the validation from potential partners. And I think, like, that's about the notes I have. I'm sure I skipped over a few things that I didn't see, but, if you are, like, in a relationship and you're taking your, like, there's some stuff happening, again, I feel like work is more of a priority than love. But I feel like you need to find the balance, because you're neglecting the romantic side of things. So if you are in a relationship, that can be hurting, and, you need the balance. So that's about it. Not sure what all resonated with you, but if you want to start popping off some questions at me, we can do that.
Sure. By the way, spot on everything. I just recently opened my own business online, so really it was dead on. Your read was awesome. It's crazy, actually. And the light-haired guy is my father, and he's kind of my mentor in the business.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's spot on, and I can definitely relate to the romantic side. I've been in a committed relationship for 11 years, and we tend to take each other for granted. It happens after years and years of being together.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you guys just got comfortable.
Exactly. A question that I do have is it possible, this year I feel like I am in a phase of change, and I am looking into spiritual things and the metaphysical, actually. Just recently I really delved into it. I'm curious if you have any positive notes. This year was rough, and I did it to myself, the things that had happened. And I, was bogged down for a couple of years with things, in myself and heavy things but I'm currently, I'm in recovery, and I'm curious if, you see that being positive and, like, see that working out for me and continuing down that life path.
I do. I do feel like you're going through what I call a spiritual awakening, and you're really figuring out who you are in those darker time periods. Like, the depth of your darkness is how far you can go in the light on your spiritual side. And you are very intuitive yourself. Your business online, are you doing anything with spirituality, or what is your business around?
It's actually, I opened an eBay store, and it has to do with, I like to find treasures, like things that people think are trash, and finding somebody who will treasure it. And that's like something that I'm passionate about. I like getting to hold it for a little while and, have it, but passing it on to somebody who will cherish it, and so it doesn't get thrown in the trash. That way of renewing things that are old to other people.
I love that. I think that's fantastic, and energetically it feels really, really good. And I feel like you have a lot of potential with it, and I do feel like it's going to expand into something more than what it is even now. You're going to evolve and grow and do multiple different things. As far as your recovery, I feel like you're going to be staying really strong with that. Obviously life is full of challenges, and there's going to be moments that the universe is, you're going to be tested. Your strength is going to be tested, but I don't feel like there's anything that is going to cause you to go backwards. Everything feels forward motion. It's like the energy that I feel is just, it's a moving forward. And, take what you learned. You know what you don't want, so focus on where you are now and keep building on that energy of loving yourself and evolving and growing. And if you end up, I would love to share some stuff with you. So if you want to reach out to me, you can email me at AskRebeccaToday@gmail.com, or you can go to my website. And I want to give you something, because I feel like you get stuck in your head about, you overanalyze the things that you've done and where you're going and what you're doing, and you tend to beat yourself up a lot about the past. And I want to help you change. I want to help you change what you believe and you think. Like, I feel like you had some issues growing up that triggered some of these things, and I want you to break the pattern of belief system and the thoughts that you have. So please reach out to me, because I'll share that with you for free. And I feel like you're going to be really successful. And try to practice some meditation and opening yourself up to your intuition. Like, you hear it, but sometimes you just suppress it because you second guess yourself. You have a little bit of trust issues with yourself. Does that make sense?
Totally, 100%.
So, you're just learning to trust yourself again, and just stay positive. I promise you, things feel really good. Again, it is life, so you're going to come up with challenges. Things will happen. Your attitude is key, and your self-esteem is key. And I'm feeling really happy and excited for you about you doing your own online business. I really think you can make that into some really cool stuff, and I feel like you're going to tap into the spiritual side of that as well. Whether you're going to find crystals and make things and create, like, tap into your creative energy, because it's dying to get out. There's another hidden talent there, and I kind of feel like by April, you're going to get you're going to know by April, you're going to be like, oh, dang, yeah, this is exactly what I want to be doing and the direction that I want to go into. We only have a few more minutes. Do you have any last questions? And you can also reach me after the fact at any point.
Thank you so much for the read. It was spot on, and I know we only have a few more minutes left. I'm just curious, a quick one is, do you see anything, my mom's in a very, deep, dark place right now, and I don't know if you can feel that, but it weighs heavy on me. I don't speak to her at the moment because she's kind of detrimental to my recovery. But I just wonder if you see any glimmer of hope in her, or if you can feel it.
Yeah, fortunately, your mom is in a completely different space than you are, a different level of consciousness, and she's on the journey that she's meant to be on in order to raise her vibration and her consciousness. I do feel like the separation, you need to continue to have the boundaries, the negativity, and the criticism and the judgment, and a lot of, I feel like some learned behavior from her. So keep the distance. I don't feel like anything bad is going on with your mom. She's just in a different mindset. She had a completely different life, and you two are on different pages right now. There's a potential in the future, but I feel like that's going to be at least a good 2 years or more. But I'm so sorry, Katie, I actually got to go. But reach out to me. I would love to speak to you again. I wish you the best of luck with your business. I'm so happy for you, and have a fantastic night, okay?
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Have a blessed night.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so really quickly before we leave, I want to make sure that you take your lists and change the don't wants into positives. Bring your list back next week. Don't forget how important it is for the next 9-year cycle and this year. So we want to definitely make sure we figure out what we want and how we're going to manifest and create our reality over the next 9 years. So I'd also like to do the moment of Zen, which, some people aren't very comfortable with a moment of silence, but I would energetically, I only have 20 seconds, so it'll be another just literally moment of Zen. One day I will work out this timing. Okay, so close your eyes, open your palms. We're going to energetically shift the blockages surrounding manifestation and our fears, the things that are holding us back in life to create the reality that we want. So take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes, and open your palms and be open to receive. Thank you all again for joining me. I look forward to being with you next week.